All right, we are going to do another driving for dollars session here in the area, looking at properties that have potentially a vacant status. These kind of folks are looking to hopefully sell. This property that we are looking at in particular might have a vacant status, a distressed status, that maybe they want to sell this property. So the good thing about this area right now here in Chicago in January is that there is snow on the ground, and that's a telltale sign. Now that I am a realtor, I actually like the snow, and the reason why I like snow is because it coats the area. And obviously those properties that have folks living in them and everything else, they pave their driveways most of the time, right? And then you could tell if they live there. But if they are vacant, the properties are, hey, these drivers will probably be clear, basically perfect snow, nothing shoveled off or nothing, no tire marks. That's basically what I'm doing right here. So I'm going to drive for dollars in this particular neighborhood where I've seen a lot of activity. I've used the app called Redfin to look at the map view, even though right here in the the left hand of your screen, you see the navigation, you see what part of the world I'm in here. But Redfin basically shows you different parts of the area that have sold homes in the last 6 months, and I basically go over those areas that have a lot of activity. So here I am going to be driving around this area to see what homes have clean and untouched snow driveways that will indicate that. All right, so that's what we're going to do here. And while I'm driving for dollars as well, once I find a property, I will go ahead and record their information, try to give the owner a call or leave a post-it note onto their garage door or something similar to that to try to see if I can help them out with that. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and touch base, and throughout this video you'll see me either coming in and out of the vehicle doing some work. You'll also see me talking about the real estate business. I'm going to also be listening to his book called Prospecting and Setting Appointments Made Easy. And as I'm listening to it, if I find something that makes sense that I want to share with you, obviously I'm going to do that there. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this driving for dollars started, and I'll go from there.
Can you imagine that most salespeople are paralyzed simply by the thought that they may get one no? When statistically, only about 10% to 20% of appointment setting attempts result in someone actually saying no. And
isn't that interesting? Yes, in sales here, we are okay with people saying no. In fact, I'm okay with people saying no. I've gotten callous to the point where I'm okay with people saying no to me because that's just the nature of the business. It's a good mindset to have, to say, you know what, hey, every no gets you closer to a yes, and that's fine. And that's a great way to look at it. But at the same time, just keep in mind, every time you hear no, it makes you better, right? Like when you go to the gym, right? I'm passing by a gym right now, but the folks that are in there, they're pumping iron, they're lifting weights. That weight is saying no to the muscle. That weight is saying, no, you're not going to pick me up. And the more you exert and pick it up, okay, that's you resisting the no of the weight and overcoming it. And the more you overcome it, the stronger the muscle gets and the bigger the muscle gets. Okay, so make sure to keep that in mind, that every no is also a rep, and the more no's you hear, and I want to have more no's, in the same way that a weightlifter wants more weights and wants to go into it with reckless abandon. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do here. So I'm making a quick turn. I want to make sure to just keep myself in this area as we have here the snow. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with this. I have everything's mounted, right? Everything's hands-free. And so what I have going on here, again, I said it's Chicago here, it's January. I love this time of year because the snow helps us. This is why we love the snow, because it helps us to determine whether or not a property is vacant or not, okay? And during the rest of the year, what is a telltale sign for these properties is, the condition of the property. Like right here, I'm looking at this property here. I already found one. I wish I could actually show you, but I'm not going to do that. I mean, everything is mounted. But it looks like this property might be vacant. I'm looking at the driveway. Let me take a look here better. I've seen some tire tracks here, but that's all I've seen. And I'm not sure. Sometimes people turn around in these driveways and then they go out. So I will actually pass on this property because even though there's not many tire tracks, I have seen that there's some shoveling going on. in the sidewalk from the past. We had a snow last night, dumped about maybe a little bit of an inch or so give it a fresh coating. And sometimes a little bit deceitful because I see white, and you have to kind of do your extra work to look around the driveway and see, hey, is there any snow shoveled? If there is some snow shoveled, then okay, somebody lives here and this property is not vacant, so I'm not going to go ahead and leave a note or call them because they are just happily living here. In fact, let me do this. I'm going to, as I comb my hair, right, as I fix my hair, I'm going to put out my amber light so that people could be alerted that I'm going to be doing some work here in the neighborhoods, in the streets, and just so that they are aware of that and not cause any problems. So let me go ahead and do that. All right, just turn on that light. So the amber light is now flashing. All I need is a siren, right? And alert the folks that Luis the realtor, Luis the broker is coming to your neighborhood. Get ready.
Easily. Persuading people to do things that are solely in your best interest.
We found the property here. It's one here in, you can see here on the map, it's Wilder Street here. The property looks to be, I've seen some tire tracks, but that's the driveway. I don't see anything else going deeper into it. And obviously I'm looking at their mailbox. It is loaded with papers. The property is not in the best condition. I see that the gutters up there are in rough shape. It looks like a lot of leaves have been built up. The roof is also not in great shape. The window shutters are in terrible shape. And so this could use a flip, So let me go ahead and see if I can find the owner's information. And hopefully we could reach out to this individual and make contact with them. And if I can make contact with them, great. Even if not, I will go ahead and leave them a note. Okay, it says here that this is an LLC property. So it's fine. It's 3 beds, 2.5 bath, 1,700 square feet. So what I will do is I will leave them a sign here as we have the information ready to go. And I will, plant this onto their property and hopefully get an answer very soon. All right, I feel like I'm working against the clock because today's temperatures, right now my car's reading 32 degrees. So as you know, if you took science class, that's when the snow starts to melt. And so yesterday's snow will start to melt, but there's still enough on the ground to tell me, whether or not these driveways are being shoveled. And again, there's a way to look at them. So anyway, there's a property there that we looked at. We're gonna keep on moving along and making sure that everything's going well. Let's keep at it.
Psychology behind this appointment setting method. Preparing to make the call is as important as making the call itself. Why? Because it helps reduce rejection. Not eliminate it, but reduce it to the point.
All right, so what he's talking about here is preparing to make the calls. And my setup when it comes to preparing to make the calls and to prospect is basically just to get right into it. There's no reason for me to just keep on delaying and waiting and overthinking it. When you start to overthink the process of making calls, you're gonna get yourself chickened out. It's almost the same as when you're about to go swimming. You approach the water, but you don't sit there and think about the water and the temperature and everything else. No, you immediately you should just jump right into the water and then you let your body get into shock a little bit, so that way it feels okay. I'm in the water, I'm swimming around, and I'm good to go. That's the same with calls. Like today, after I did my first session that you saw here on the YouTube channel, make sure to go through the videos and see the video of me doing the driving for dollars. But when I started to do my calling session, the first thing I did when I got to the table is started preparing that dialer ready to go. Because if I sat there and started to look up some information or started to look up something else, that would have distracted me, and I would not have had the time I would have wasted a lot of time being distracted. I'm telling you, as a realtor, there are so many things that call for your attention. There's so many things that can distract you, etc., that if you're not careful, you can, really waste a lot of time, okay? So understand what you have to do as far as your business goes that will move the needle, and let's just keep the show going. All right, let's keep moving.
Well, they may get an appointment, which is exciting, but they waste all that excitement and success on one call. If they had at least 5 to call, the motivation may carry them through to set another one.
So I don't settle for just making one call or talking to one person, or even if I started a calling session and I did, let's say, find one client or someone that is looking to make a move, a good lead, I don't just cancel everything for the rest of the day and call it a day. There's a way in which I do have my calling days and sessions set up. I have a win-loss record, and I like to say that when I do find a lead, I call it a win. But I don't stop my session there. My session is going to go on whether or not I have 5, 10 leads or not, or 0 leads, right? I'm still going to continue to make this work happen. So in the same way, as things go on here, I do look forward to, you know, making this happen. I'm driving by a house here I sold this house to one of my investor clients, and it looks like he's looking to rent this place out. It would have been nice to see him here, but it's fine. I have a duty to do here, so I'm not going to stop what I'm doing. I'm going to continue to look for properties. And boom, here we go. This is one that might be an interesting one. I see some tire tracks here, but let's see. Yeah, no, there's activity going on here. So I'm going to keep on moving. I saw for rent by owner sign. I know the owner, and I'm not going to call him today. But anyway, that's what I'm saying, though. Is I'm not going to stop just because I found a lead. We're going to keep on going. There's a system in place. There's a time to punch in, and then there's a time to punch out. All right. So whether or not you're very successful or not, doesn't matter. You continue to work. That's how I have this set up.
Number 2.
All right. So
list the easiest one to call first, the hardest one to call.
A property that, again, it might be vacant. It might not. See, I'm looking at the snow. It hasn't really been shoveled as much, and I see some tire track, but again, it doesn't look like anything's been happening in the last few days, right? Again, it's good to understand the weather and when there was snow. And so just judging by the snow and how it looks like, I don't see much activity, and the property looks kind of vacant. And so what I'm going to do here is, yes, I'm going to reach out and see, if I could find the individual and find out their a property address. Let me see if there's a number. I see a number, but it's being blocked by the pillar. So let me kind of back up a little bit. Okay, I see it now. 5 something. All right, so let's just go ahead and take a look here. It looks like an auction property. Interesting. See, there was something to it, right? I'm telling you, I'm onto something. If I don't see any activity, see, in this angle, the driveway looks a little bit occupied and a little bit of dusting of snow, but it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt to reach out to the owner. Let me run a skip trace here. All right. In fact, let me real quick do something here. Respond to a text message real quick. All right, there we go. I'm trying to text in Spanish, and it says Honda burns yard. I'm trying to say hola, ¿cómo estás? All right, there we go. All right, quickly just making some things happen. All right, so let's run a skip trace on this property and see if we can get in touch with the owner. And it says no eligible contacts exist. Okay, so with that said, I want to see something here. If this property is under auction, then it makes no sense for me to reach out to them based on this. And it's also in the MLS. Let's see, listed in 2019. So it's been some time. Let me just, hey, it doesn't hurt to leave a flyer and see how I can help them. All right, let's go on to the next one. Let's keep it going.
Look down your
All right, so what I'm doing right now is I just found a property that says for rent by owner. So I just want to, see if I can reach out to them. Maybe they are looking to sell this property. I want to at least see what this property can sell for. So absolutely, yeah, I'm going to reach out and see what I can do, because as I was driving by, I noticed that the driveway is not, shoveled. Nothing's shoveled, right? So all I see is footprints all around. So let me go ahead. I know that this property is owned, but maybe this person is either looking to sell this property or they're looking to buy more property. So that's why I'm going to reach out to them. If the sign is too small, the letters are too small to see, use your camera to zoom in on that sign. Let's see.
¿Aló?
Hello. Busco al dueño de la casa en la Pennsylvania, La Plum.
Sí, ¿qué necesita? Disculpe.
Ok, no, pues buenos días. Yo actually soy realtor aquí. Estoy manejando el vecindario, viendo si personas como usted está quizás buscando rentar otras casas, comprar otras casas. No sé si a usted le interesa eso.
Ahorita no, disculpe, ahorita ando fuera del país.
Oh, está fuera del país,
Sí,
ok.
y no me interesa por ahora. Gracias, de todos modos.
Claro, ¿usted cómo se llama, perdón?
Miguel.
Miguel, yo también soy Miguel, aquí en el área, pero ya cuando regreses, si quieres hablar de cómo yo te puedo encontrar otras casas para rentar, me dejas saber, Miguel.
Por ahora no estoy interesado, disculpa. Muchas
Ok.
gracias. Cualquier en otro momento yo le digo.
Excelente, ándale pues, gracias Miguel.
Igualmente.
Hasta luego. Cool. So hey, it was okay. It was good, and this was in a sense, a rejection, which is fine. You know, sometimes rejection is soft, and sometimes rejection is hard. He is not looking to do anything of what I'm offering, which is fine. But you know what? In the future, we can reach out. I tried to find rapport. He said his name's Miguel. My name's Miguel too. You know, that's one of my names. But I saw this opportunity. I had to ask. That's all we can do is just ask, ask, ask. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. Okay, so let's keep working and let's keep seeing what other opportunities arise.
Result in them
I
doing
found
business
another
with someone
property
else.
here. Now this one is like a shared driveway. So this one does have traction on this driveway, but I noticed that most of the traffic is going to this side as opposed to that side, right? So let's see here. If you can see the map. All right, cool, very good. So you see here the cursor. I see some traffic going to this side instead of just going into this property. So what I'll do is I'll reach out to the folks here in this property right here to see if they're looking to make a move. On their driveway, I see a package Amazon delivery, but the house itself looks to be in poor shape. Really, let me see if I could give you a view of what I'm looking at, the street view. There we go. It's just Google Maps, so it's nothing crazy. Here we go. This is the property I'm looking at right here. This is it. So you can see here the windows. I mean, this photo actually does look very accurate to what I'm looking at in person right now. Obviously, there's a snow on the ground, but that's give or take here. It could be different. But yeah, I mean, there's a window unit for the air conditioning. There's also the windows itself look to be in poor shape, needs to be fixed, and the setting looks okay here, but in person it looks like yeah, it could use some work here. So let me go ahead and see if I can get in contact with the actual owners of this property, like I always do, and see this information. Okay, so here we go. Pull up this information.
You have 2 new text messages.
All right, so it's a 4-bedroom, who knows how many bath home. Could even pass for a duplex. I mean, it's a 2-story house, and it's 2,064 square feet. And this is owned by an investment company. So unfortunately, we cannot go forward with this. However, what I'll do is, once again, I will leave a note on their door and see if I can help them with that. Anything in regards to real estate. All right, just wanted to pull out my marker here. I got out the car and I noticed a property right across the street from this one also. It looks to be vacant. It says no trespassing, no trespassing. So we're not going to trespass or leave this note on their property, but we are absolutely going to reach out to them and see if I can give them a call. All right, so what I said here is this. Hello, my name is Luis. Just driving by and noticed that this house appears vacant. I know this is an LLC, but if you are looking for an active realtor here in the west side of this town to list this property and to promote, call me at 630 blah 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 blah. All right, so that's what I did, right? I know that LLCs already know a realtor. LLCs have a bunch of realtors already calling them, so there's no lack of LLCs around this area. But the cool thing is this, that I needed to find a way to stand out, even in the little page right here, right in this little flyer, right? So what did I have to do? I said, look, I made sure to say active realtor. And then I made sure to be specific about the area. It's not just the whole town, but it's specific to this area right here. And I let them know as well, not just to list it, because any realtor can list it, but to list and promote. So those 3 differentiators I put here, okay? So I like that, and I'm going to take a photo of it just so I can look at it later and make it as like a model of sorts, okay? So go ahead here and take a photo of that. I like that setup. And then what I will do is again staple. Where did I leave my staples at? Oh, I think I know where I left them. Anyway, staple this onto my thing. Okay, so I got a lot of things going on here. I just want to make sure that I am organized. I know I'm excited. I got a few minutes left before I have to wrap this up to have a lunch date with my wife, but I still want to make sure to get this done ASAP. All right, so let's keep it going.
For example, bring your list of names and show how to add it using a variety of memory joggers. Minimum once a week.
Another reason why I will not be looking at this house over here is because I just saw a black cat walking. Not that I'm superstitious, but hey, it says no trespassing and a black cat, so I'm not going there.
The more you find out what is important in their life at the moment, you can ask about it the next time you call. Hi Bob, Joe here. How's that project going? How was your daughter's graduation? Is your mom feeling better? Etc. Professional follow-up means you remember what's important to them. If you truly do care about them, you'll pick that up.
That's a really good point right there, is that it's important to know what your prospect or your lead is going through at the time. That's why it's important to find out. Don't just go right into the real estate deal. Don't just talk about the business, but really find out what's happening in their life. In Spanish, we'd say, metiche, right? It's like you're kind of nosy, you're trying to figure out everything about everything. Well, it's a good thing too, though, because these are good sort of, I don't know how to call it yet. I'll come up with a name at some other time, but these are good, fishing lines, I guess you could say, to kind of reel in the prospect, the follow. We're talking about following up, and if you always follow up with just the same line of, hey, are you ready to move? Are you ready to move? Are you ready to move? He's saying here in this book, of the prospecting book, that it's going to cause them to say, you know what, never mind, I don't want to talk with you because I am, annoyed and tired of you constantly, just going after this or that. So they don't want to be annoyed in that regard. They want to be heard and feel like a person. So that's why it's good for you to understand what's going on in their life and ask about, hey, how was your daughter's wedding, or how was this tournament? Did you find success in XYZ, right? And just follow up with them, and not even touch base. Like, for example, I just got a text message from somebody. What if they're following up with me, right? And all they said was, hey, how are you? Happy New Year. Just touching base with them is how I would do it. Now, for me, myself, one of the things that I do is once a quarter or so, once the seasons change from winter to spring, spring to summer, summer to fall, fall to winter, I like to sit down, especially in the holidays, right, and just text everybody something. Text somebody about, hey, I'm glad the new weather's here, or I'm glad XYZ is happening. Hey, Merry Christmas, whatever. But just go through your text messages. They don't even have to be in a follow-up list specifically. Just go down through the list, and as you see the person's name, hey, how was this? How was that? Etc. And that's how you are able to follow up with people. So I think that's a good point here in this book about follow-up. So anyway, I'm over here driving for dollars, looking at properties still to see, what driveways are clean and which ones are not. So let's keep driving.
Or God forbid, a death in the family that you forgot about. You may run roughshod over their feelings, which is like trying to jerk the line when they are trying to run. They will spit the hook, or the line of communication will be broken. You lost them.
So that's another important point, is don't lose the person because of your lack of memory, right? And that's one of the things that I struggle with, is remembering important dates or important situations. So if you're like me and you have a problem with remembering important events or important things happening in someone's life, then it would be good for you to have a calendar reminder, or even just a reminder of maybe an alarm app, right? I use that. I have a Samsung Android phone, and I use the clock app, an alarm, and it allows you to put in some sentence or whatever you want to put in there. It's called an alarm name. I just put in the task that needs to be done. Once that alarm rings, then I can do it. So for example, if someone, God forbid, had a death in the family, you could just give them some space and then remind yourself to call them up, and don't even mention real estate. Just be there as a friend and mention that to them. But don't lose people because of your bad memory, okay? So that's what he was saying. I think that's an important point here to point out.
Calls. Again,
right, I think this
the
was
warmer
a good
the
one.
relationship, the more likely it is.
All right, so I found the property here. Let me look it up here. Let's see. Just go ahead and do the street view. All right, let me show you what I'm looking at here. Let's see if I can find a street view. There it is. Come on, show me. Show me the money, all right? Let's see here. So, which one does it look like? It's probably, I'm not sure now. Where are we? So I'm going to point it out here in the map for us to look at. Can I just click and drag? All right, here we go. All right, so let's just scroll through. Let's see what we find. Okay, this is it right here. Right next to the playground of all places. Oh, this playground brings me back some memories, actually. But we're not talking about that today. All right, so this is the property I'm looking at here. This property was in 2025. I'm looking at the condition of it here. And so basically this property looks like, I'm sorry, I'm so close to the camera here, but the siding itself is fading. It's old siding. It looks to be like vinyl siding. Gotta get really close to it and touch it to see. But the front door is really dry, rotted. The porch is in, outdated condition. I see a chair outside. The windows are old. The air conditioning is a window unit. And I guess looks like the dry. Let me kind of. Okay, great. I'm glad I'm looking at this through this view, because I'm looking at the snow-covered floor, and the driveway goes right here. So the reason why I actually stopped, was because the driveway looks to be a little bit occupied, but it's mostly clear. Okay, I'm not going to show you what I'm looking at, but again, and in the back, I see a bunch of belongings out there in the backyard. So I don't know what's going on over there. Did somebody get evicted? It just looks terrible over there. However, it's a good opportunity. It's a cinder block foundation. So this could be a good fix and flip for somebody. So let me see if I could find out the information and reach out to this individual right now over the phone. All right, so let's go ahead and give this person a call. Let me bring up my information and let's call this individual. Hopefully it is not an LLC. It looks to be a duplex. I have a client that's looking for a duplex right now. So if I could get this property in a good deal, let's go ahead and see. All right, so it is not a duplex. I'm sorry, it is not an LLC. There's an individual here who has this property. It's running a skip trace, and there is a phone number. There's a phone number for this property. So I'm gonna hold on a second. All right, yes, we're good, and it's not a do not call. So let me just see if I can reach out to this gentleman. All right.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated
No big
voice
deal.
messaging system.
That this property appears to be possibly vacant. I'm not sure. The driveway is full of snow and there's a bunch of belongings out in the backyard, and I, as a realtor, just driving by, I want to see if there's anything I could do to help you out. If you need some help, at least understanding what the value of this home is, even in its current condition, I absolutely can help you out with that and let you know how much money you can net and put in your pocket if you did want to at least list the property or at least have an idea of this. And so if you want to prevent anyone from coming out here and causing problems, because obviously it looks to be vacant and someone can come up here and increase the theft ratio here in this area, give me a call back. Let's have a conversation about this, and we can definitely at least understand the path forward. Okay, so give me a call back. Again, this is Luis Torres with eXp Realty. 630-777-4 my number, and so give me a call back if you are interested. Take care. Bye. All right, great. So that was a call here. I like this one, and I do want to put this person's name in my database. So I'm gonna copy this information, and let's go ahead and add them to the database. One quick second here. All right, so that's what we are looking at here. A property that looks just like this, and it's snow covered, right? That's what made me stop. And I'm not sure if this person is looking to sell, but we will find out, right? I reached out to them. That's how my system works, and then we'll go from there. And then it looks like another property here. Oh man, it's another one right across the street. So let me go ahead and also find this information. This will be the last house I look at because obviously I have to get going. But let me park right and move things along here. All right, very good. All right, great. So this is what I'm looking at. I'm just crossing the street here, and this property right here as well is one that appears to be vacant. I mean, there's windows open outside to the outside. But why would you have windows open? I mean, the temperature is cold. It's January, but yet you have your windows open. So it's clearly vacant. There's no one out here living out here. So let me see if I can get this information right. So that property looks to be, I think it's, let me see. No, probably something else. It's across the street, so it might be that one, yes. All right, so this property that I'm looking at is a 4-bed, 2-bath house. Residential general singles, so it's a single family home. Could probably be converted to a 2-unit, who knows. And it looks to be a individual owner, right? So let me go ahead and find their information and reach out to them as well and see hopefully if we can get this person in our database and help them to sell. Okay, so the primary number here is a do not call list, which is fine, no big deal. Let me see here. Let me just say here, hi there, I'm calling in regards, or I'm texting about property on View Street. Okay, there you go. And now I'm going to call the second phone number in the file here. And hopefully this person here might answer, right? And maybe they know some information.
Please leave your message for 20837.
You can't hear it. Hey there, this is Luis Torres, just reaching out to you. I noticed a property here on View Street in Aurora. This phone number came up in the record, and I just wanted to reach out to see if you own a property on View Street in Aurora. I'm a realtor. I just want to see if you need some help with this property, at least understanding what it's worth and what are the options moving forward. It looks to be vacant, and so I'm just reaching out to see if I can be of any assistance to you, okay? Take care, and if you're not the owner, and you're still looking for some help here in Illinois, reach out to me and let's have a conversation. Take care. That's it. Okay, so after that, we're just gonna move things along. All right. So yeah, with that said, I'm gonna wrap up this little video here. Actually, let me just see one thing here, because I am working in the neighborhoods here, and I just want to see. Actually, let's just drive a little bit more. Let's just complete this quadrant in this neighborhood here, and let's move it along. All right, so let's go. Let's just finish the task, right? Because we need to be going soon. I have an appointment, so I don't want to be late to it. All right, so we're driving, we're looking, wrapping things up. That property looks a little vacant. I might have to come back a little bit later on and keep working these areas. Even though the sun is out here, it's gonna melt a lot of snow. Hopefully it doesn't melt my driveways, right? This is a good indicator. This is why I had to come out today early and start working on this. And we'll continue to move things along. All right, so it doesn't look like there's any other properties that have vacant snow driveways, right? So I think that at this point, I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap up this video. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you find this to be useful, if you feel like you need some more information like this, you like watching me drive around and talk about the real estate business, by all means, let's go ahead and subscribe to this channel, right? There are more properties to look at, there's more properties to see, and more things to talk about. So let's go ahead and make this happen. Okay, so with that said, let's wrap it up, and let's go ahead and have a successful day.